Hey everyone, how are you? Are we fine? If you're fine, you just holler in the chat room. New microphone. That's good. Can you hear me? Eric, edebuusinga terivaayo. Iyo livaayo. Ekigaana nyinza okukozesa eyiye. Actually, speaker yange.
Hello.
Can you hear me now? Apasha, say something. Apasha, how are you? Okay. Can someone unmute their microphone and say something?
Hello, Emma.
Yeah,
You can hear
now
me?
I can hear you. I can hear you now. So how is everyone? How is everyone going?
Me, I'm fine.
You're waiting for the data.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Don't worry, don't worry. It is just a glitch, but we are working on it. And as I said, you're going to be getting 20 GBs, so you should be scratching your hands to unleash the downloads. Yeah, but where are the rest of the people? I can't see them. Afasha, what is your best friend?
Here we are.
Eh? Let's just start with the ones available and we move on. Yeah. So before we go any further, I was asking on a scale of 1 to 10, how much Python do you know? You can just comment in the in the chat room on a scale of 1 to 10 how you feel about Python. Can you do that in 1 minute? We should be done. Did you get the instructions correctly? Microphone you Diego. Guys, I was saying that can you come? Okay, Davis has said 4 out of 10. I'm waiting for Afasha's reply, Amoge's reply, Mutiaba's reply. Yeah. Let's finish these replies very fast. Yeah, 3 more replies to go. 3 more replies. Okay. Can you see the screen I've shared? This is cohort 2. Wait. This is the one. Yeah, so as I was saying, Python is not actually that hard, and we are going to spend only 1 week going through it. Then we shall dive into Django. If at all you still have the curriculum we shared with you a few months back, you'll see this part of Python takes 1 week. Even 1 week may be a little bit too much. Yeah, because we shall find a lot of concepts that are being shared with JavaScript. Yeah, so maybe to start off, we can try to install Python properly. Yeah. So if you happen to have of course you have internet, you'll just go to Python, just type in maybe installing Python 3.8 on Ubuntu, maybe then you say DigitalOcean, something like that. This goes for the people that have Linux. If you have Windows, I think you'll just go to the Python website and you download the latest version. Yeah, but recently they released Python 3.9. So if you actually have Windows, you just have to download that one. If you have Linux, I'm just going to copy this link and paste it into the chat room. You can follow it and try to follow some of my steps. Yeah, but in a nutshell, Python for people with Ubuntu or Linux, it's actually already installed. Yeah, but there are some supporting libraries that help some things move well now, like pip. Pip you'll install. You'll install alone. Then there are these other libraries, and I think also, yeah, the virtual environment you also install separately. Yeah, so when you go to this link, though it says Ubuntu 18.04, but it doesn't mind any version of Ubuntu will suffice. For Windows, just install something of 64-bit, the executable. Make sure to tick the path, to include the Python path into during the installation, and you should be done. Yeah. But today we are going to work with Python in the terminal, and we see basically what it is capable of doing. But mostly, though we are going to use it for web development, it has very strong use cases in machine learning, in DevOps. Yeah, those people who want to do DevOps. Yeah, it also has people who work with Raspberry Pis. Hopefully, we shall have a chance to use it with the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, it works very well with the Raspberry Pi, and yeah, we shall see most of these. Yeah, but at least all of us have some Python installed on our machine. If you don't, please highlight, let us know in the chat box that we can wait for you. Yeah, but without further ado, I think we should start on today's lesson. Usually, now for the resources of Python, we can there are free resources, but the best resource is the Python tutorial. You just go to Google and type in Python tutorial. Then there is this link that will come for the Python actual official documentation. Yeah, they have a very good documentation, especially for people who have prior knowledge of some programming language, and they're just coming into Python, so they just want to dive in. Yeah, so you'll notice the stable version is already pre-selected to 3.9.0. Yeah, so it is a little bit of a simple tutorial, but it kind of like highlights most of what we are going to be looking through. And if you have enough Python concepts, then we shall just dive into Django. Though the curriculum says here that we will touch Flask, we won't touch Flask so much, because most of the time we shall spend it in Django, and we shall see some resemblances with Node.js. Yeah, but basically, in a nutshell, this is going to be our single source of truth for some concepts. Yeah, those who enjoy videos, you could go to Free Code Camp and also download some videos to use. Yeah. Do you have any questions for now? Anyone that has just come in that doesn't know where we are heading? Are we all okay? Just type in the chat box if at all you're okay, so that we can start. I would suggest that I think to improve on the interactivity, instead of using the chat box, we are going to use the microphones. You just unmute, you say you're okay, then you do what? You mute again. I think that will be a little bit more interactive, because some people, they're like sitting ducks. They're not saying anything, they're just there quiet. Yeah. All right, so let's just create a folder. we can just create a new folder here. Maybe we can call it Python snippets. Yeah, so I've created that folder in my home directory. Afasha says he has an error with this machine. He has failed to unmute. Sorry. At least for you, I'll exempt you from what? From talking, because you're a little bit active. But Davis is very silent. Mutiawa is very silent. And also, okay. Let's continue. So I'll open my VS Code so that I can open that folder as a project. Yeah. So I have my VS Code window here. I'm still waiting for it to load. Then I'll go to File, then Open Folder. Then I'll locate my folder. Yeah, it's called Python snippets. Yeah. So after opening that folder, this folder, I'll maximize. Then I'll just go down, pull out the terminal. Then since for me, I can use any version of Python. I think I have Python 3.8. I can even check the version. Then I also have Python 3.9, the latest. So whichever I want, but for now, whichever I want will work. So you have to create the virtual environment first, and the virtual environment is just kind of like a controlled environment where you can run all your code without kind of like interfering with this kind of like the system, in that if something goes wrong, you just delete whatever went wrong in that virtual environment, and then you maybe can even start up a new virtual environment. So anything you install will kind of like stay encapsulated in that virtual environment. So I'll say Python 3.9 minus m, then VNV. The first VNV is for the what? Is the command that will create the virtual environment. This one is the name of the virtual environment, or you can just call it whatever you want. Maybe you can call it bits env. Yeah, and then you press enter. If you've been careful, you will have seen now there is a folder here that has been created called bits env. So after creating the virtual environment, you have to activate it. Yeah, before you start installing anything, it's always very good to activate. So I'll say to activate, you use the dot that will say that you want to activate it in this folder. The name of the virtual environment is bits env, then bin, then /activate. Yeah, you should be used to this procedure, though right now, since we're just working with Python as a language, it's not very important right now, because all your code can run without, since we're not going to install anything. Yeah, but when you start working with Django and blah blah blah, it's always advisable to create a virtual environment. Yeah. So, and the only way now you know that you're in a virtual environment is if at all it's kind of like in brackets here. Yeah. So to create a file, we can just say maybe touch, then hello.py. Yeah, so this is a file, and with Python, any file is a module in this case, but the module name is the name of the file without the extension. Yeah. All right. So now that that we have the file, hope people are still with me. Fasha is asking here that he has the 3.7. How can he upgrade to 3.9? If you're using Windows, you can uninstall 3.7 and install 3.9. If you are using Linux, you can install you can install it in a way, but you have to go around maybe to help you out with. For Linux, for Windows, it's very easy. Uninstall the old one, install the new one. For Linux, just go maybe to how to upgrade to Python 3.8 on Ubuntu. Yeah, there is some tutorial that this one will help you. Although here they are saying 3.8, but everything will work as long as you keep on changing this. Right now, Python 3.9 is on 3.9.0, so you'll have to change these two. 3.9.0, you'll have to change this, but you'll have to follow this same commands. Yeah, this is the link I used. Although it's for 3.8, but it will work very well on 3.9 if at all. Yeah, Linux Mint and Ubuntu, they are the same flavors, because actually Linux Mint is based on Ubuntu. Yeah, so it will still work well. Yeah, so that's the link. Yeah, but make sure you replace everything with the 3.8 that has 3.8.6 to 3.9.0. Yeah, it will work very well. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Hope that was clear, Fasha. Okay. All right. Now that we have created the file, like I told you, with the extension it's a file, but without the extension it's a module. Yeah, and the module name is hello. So this is the tutorial I will be using, the one from the official website. Yeah, that's the one I'll be using. It's a little bit easier for people who don't want to waste time, that are moving from one language to the other. Okay, yeah, now so here it is. I'm trying to go through here. So I'm on, if at all you have internet, yeah, this wait, this is the startup page. So I'm already on 2. Whatever you click, there is always the next button down here to take you to the next slide. Yeah, so basically this is the Python comes with an interactive mode that you can go in if at all you want to test things. You'll use sometimes this interactive mode in Django. Yeah, but since we are going to be writing a lot of code, interactive mode, it's very, very hard to write a lot of code. That's why we need a text editor. Yeah. So let's move on to part 3, where they show an informal introduction to the Python programming language. They're starting with numbers, saying that Python can actually act like a calculator. Basically, just like JavaScript in the console. Yeah, we can do a lot of things. So, though for us, we're going to use these we're gonna use these in the what, in our snippet here. So pulling our snippet here, maybe we can just create any variable, maybe variable, or we can just print. Yeah. We print 2 plus 2. Then when we want to run our script, first of all we have to first save. Then we can just start it with Python hello.py. Yeah, and then it will bring 4. If at all you're not in a virtual environment, you'll have to maybe let me increase the font. I was saying, if at all you are not in a virtual environment, you might have to prefix this with Python 3. Yeah, because sometimes there are some things that maybe 3.8, then you run it, this will also work. Yeah, but since I'm already in the virtual environment that is for Python 3.9, automatically it is assumed that and this one works the way it's supposed to work. Yeah, but now like for Linux systems, they come with a default version of Python 2.7, though it is being rolled out. So you have to be very, very careful. Yeah, sometimes your code may work because, or may not work because of the version you are using to do what, to run it. Yeah, but yeah, going on, of course, numbers. Then of course, when you want to maybe to do some operation first, you can use brackets, maybe like 50 minus 5 maybe times 6, then you divide anything by 4. It will first finish whatever is in brackets, and then you divide it by 4. Simple. Yeah. With division, there are 2 types of division. There is this that will give you let me try to print this. And then I'll copy this. Then there is also one with double what? Yeah, so if I save and I try to run this, yeah, you'll see that these last 2, the second last 2, the one with the with double division signs gave you a whole number, while this one gave you a decimal number. Yeah, so but you'll see most of those as you go on, and of course there are functions that help you to kind of like typecast some of these values into whatever you want. Now if at all I wanted an int for this, I could kind of like put that into to kind of like get my result. Yeah, that's why you see now it also came with 1. If at all I wanted the float, yeah, there is also still a function for float. Yeah, as you go on. Yeah, so what we have seen is float division, and then this one with double lines is kind of like called the one that discards the fractional part of as you have seen, kind of it flows the what, it's called the float division. Then if I tell I use 2 asterisks, it is to the power of something. Yeah. Then of course we have the equal sign. Basically everything we have been doing in other languages, it's almost the same as in Python. Media Vibes is saying there is an issue with my audio. What about others? Are we all experiencing issues with my audio? Yeah, Media Vibes, I think it's either your internet or something else. Yeah. Okay. Of course, they are saying here the equal sign, like as is used to. Let me pull this. The equal sign is used to do what? To assign a value to the variable. And you very well much notice that for Python, we don't have keywords like let or const to kind of like declare variables. Yeah, it's because they are not there. Those keywords are not there, right? Yeah. This is a nutshell of numbers, though we shall look at them more in detail. Strings, anything in single quotes and double quotes is a string, and you see some escaping actually is very, very similar to what you've been seeing in JavaScript. Yeah. And you see actually the plus is also an operator that can be used to add two strings, and the single asterisk can be used to multiply these strings, just like you see here. And there's also some other good feature here that two or more strings next to each other are automatically concatenated. Though this you may not use it a lot, yeah, but you may use this. And also there is the f string, yeah. So maybe for strings, if you have something like that, maybe hello. I think most of this, even in JavaScript, it's the same. And then world, maybe, and I want a space in front of world. It can come out like that. Let me first save. Yeah, hello world. And the scenario whereby they multiplied by 3, but you want to multiply the whole of this. That's why I'm gonna put it in bracket. Yeah. Yeah, that's why you see hello world 3 times. Yeah, and the H is similar to is closer to the D because there was no space between the H, but let me put some space there. Yeah, so now at least you see it's more readable. Yeah, so basically, yeah, Python is very, very easy, and actually I think it's easier than JavaScript. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And here they're saying actually if at all you use these brackets, they can help you to break down longer strings onto multi-lines. Yeah. Of course, we shall look at these syntax errors, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and there is this. I think this has to do with slicing. Of course, there is a message here. Open has just joined us. Okay, Open, you are late. Yeah. How are you, Open? Okay. Open, before you came, I don't know, Eric, can someone access the history charts when they are new? Open. Now what you do, you look through the charts, the old charts to see how far we have gone. Yeah, but we are just looking through Python and Okay, the good thing, okay, Afasha has clarified that you can't see the charts, but the good thing is this video has been, it has been recorded. So even those was I will make sure we edit it and we share with you the links that you can see what you missed. But basically, we have installed Python and we are trying to look through the basics of Python, yeah, by passing through the official documentation. Now someone has some echoes they have to remove, but basically yeah. So I was saying that now, like for the strings can also be referred to as sequences. By sequences, it's kind of like actually each item in a string has a position, and you know the position start from 0 to the end of the string, counting. Yeah, just like you see here the word Python. If at all you use bracket notation, you will get the value at this point. Yeah, just like in JavaScript. So it doesn't really change that much. And if I use -1, of course I'll get the last item in the string, and this actually will work for both lists, arrays in JavaScript. Yeah, so we also have tuples and we have also sets. They will all share most of these features. Yeah, so maybe just to demonstrate, let's just copy this. Let's just copy this, and so we have a variable of Python. When we say print word at position 0, yeah, this is what we have. We have the p. Yeah. So basically this and what you've been doing in JavaScript won't change a lot. That's why instead of us using long tutorials, you just dive into this small tutorial that just helps you to kind of like get you to the next stage. Yeah. In Python, there is this notion of slicing. Slicing is supported now, like they are saying here. And with slicing, usually the first position, the value in the first position is included in the slice, and the value in the last position is excluded in the slice, just like they have said here. So now, like for the case of the word Python, the 0, the first position 0, 1 will be included and 2 will be excluded. For 2 and 5, let me see. If at all this is the word 0, 1, 2, so it will start from T, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to N. Wait, yeah, wait, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be THO. Yeah. Exactly like the way it is here. The first index is included, the last index is excluded. That's simple. And actually, that slice, it's a new string. It doesn't in any way edit the old string. Though there is this issue of a shallow clone in Python. whereby if I say maybe new word, and of course when you are using Python variables, it's advisable if there are two words, you put an underscore. But if I say new word, then I say word, then I slice, and I don't put anything, I put from. It's like here, when you don't put the first value in the slice, it's like you are saying the slice is automatically starting at position 0, and when you put and when you don't put the last value, it assumes that the slice ends at the length of that string. And by the length, I don't mean the last position, I mean the actual length. And the length here, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like they're saying it's starting from 0, it is stopping at 6. Yeah, this one will be very helpful. Yeah. So let's try to print new word, and you see what we get. Yeah, so we get the whole word Python, and let's do the same thing without this, because when you don't put them, it will assume the defaults. Yeah, you see, it still brings the word Python. And lastly, let's try to use the len. The len is a function in Python, and then so we are saying here it starts from maybe from what, a 0, since it's not put, and we've only added but we have said it stops at the length. So this will be evaluated, and let's see what yeah, so it's still the same thing. And what we have been doing, if at all the same value is, we get here, it's the same value that was here, we're in actual sense creating a shallow copy. Yeah. So when you see something like that, especially when we shall get to looping, when you're looping through a list, or you may call it an array of values in Python, sometimes you loop through as you update that list. So in most cases, it's not advisable to loop as you update the list, because you may get into an infinite loop whereby it's the same loop you are changing, it's the same loop you're updating. So what you do before you start looping through it, you get a shallow copy of it, and it's that shallow copy that you use for looping while updating the original list. Yeah. But if at all this is confusing to you, you can also, there is another function for, I think it's called .copy, a method on most sequences that helps you to create the shallow copies. Yeah. Hope we are together there. All right, are we still together before we can continue? Openi, you came in late. Are we together? Avasha, are we together? Avasha, you are saying not so much. Why? If you have a question, this is the right time to ask, because I think I've said a lot, and I can pause a little bit. Why aren't we together? A shallow copy. Davis is understanding the shallow copy. From my understanding, okay, the shallow copy. Yeah, this is, yes. Basically, if at all let's start small with this. That's when maybe you'll understand Yeah, Open is also having issues with the shallow copy. Yeah, so maybe before even we get to these shallow copies, let me first let me first comment out this, and then we have our variable here. Let me start small. I will say I will print word. I'll just get a substring, right? I'll get a substring because a substring is part of the string, but maybe some things it can be part of the string or it can be the whole string, but it's still a substring, right? So the first, when you use a full colon like this, whatever is on the left of the full colon will be included. It will be the point where they start chopping from. Yeah, where they start chopping from. After the full colon, it's whatever is the figure specified after the full colon. Yeah, the figure on your right won't be, the index won't be included. Yeah, so if at all we have 0, if you at all we have 0 and okay, maybe instead of 0 we have 1 and we have maybe 3. These are indexes. They are indexes. They are positions, right? They are positions. And you know, when you are now, like for a sequence like this string, we count the position starting from 0. So P is in 0, Y is in 1. So since Y is in 1, Y will be the first one. And that's where the chopping will start. That's where the copying, the computer will start copying. Then 0, 1, 2, 3. So H is in position 3, and I've said H won't be included because it is not included because that's how this slicing works. The last index is not included, but the value in the first index is included. So we shall have 0, 1, Y will be added, 2 will be added, so T will also be added, 3 won't be added, right? Yeah, so let's first test this. We should get YT. Yeah, so we have YT here. Y is included because it is in index 1. It is in index 1, and index 1, that's where we are starting to copy from. That's where we are starting our copying to get the substring we need, because now our substring is YT, and it's a substring because YT exists in the main string, which is Python, right? Yeah, but in this case, if at all I don't have this one and I just leave it like that, and I don't have any starting value, but I have an ending value, yeah, for that case, if at all you are to guess, that means if there is no starting value, the default starting value is 0. It is by default, it is 0. So and the position of 0 is P. So we shall have P, Y, and T. Yeah, let's try to run it and see. Yeah, PYT, exactly. And if you don't put this, if you don't put the last value, right? Now it will assume the last value is the length of the what? Of the string. Now that is where the tricky bit is. The length of the string. There is a function called len. There is a function called len in Python, and it helps you to define the length of the what of a string. And we should know that when you are getting the length of a string, actually it's the number of these individual characters. So it will just start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is the length of the what of the string, right? Yeah, I think in JavaScript use dot length, not so? Yeah, in JavaScript use dot length if at all you want to get the size of the you can call it the length or the size of the string. Exactly. Yeah. So this one, so when you don't put a value here, it's like as if you are telling it that I'm going to put a 6 here. And if at all I'm to count this the way it is here, 0 is the default, the length, the ending bit is 6, so it will be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Actually 6. By the time the index of n is 5, so 5 will also the index of n is 5, so n will also be included in the string. Yeah, it is 6 that won't be included because actually 6 at this point is not actually its index. 6, if at all we're talking about indexes, at the index 6 there is no character there, right? That's why I told you that the length, so that means they will get this whole value, because usually the length and the last index, in most cases there is a difference of 1. Yeah, if I told you you have been very very inquisitive with indexes and lengths, usually that's why you see that the length of the index of the last digit in an array, in most cases we can get it using -1. Yeah, so the last index and the length of any string or any array, there's always a difference of 1. Yeah, that's why when you leave this out, it kind of like brings out a copy of the full string, which I called a shallow copy. Yeah. Yeah. So when they talk about shallow copy, don't be overwhelmed. It's just normal English, but it just shows that it's the same copy of the of the list or a sequence, but it's used to do maybe something else, like looping through. Yeah. Apasha, did I answer you now? Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, moving on, just like you see here, and there are also some tricky ones here now. There's some tricky ones now, like this one. It's starting from -2 to the what, to till the length. It's -2 is the second last when you start counting from behind. Yeah. Yeah, basically. And actually here they are using substrings with they're actually using these substrings and they're adding them to normal strings, and this is also normal. Yeah, you can use substrings to edit and come up with something new. I think here they are editing this from, instead of calling it Python, they are calling it JSON, right? Yeah, and I think this is also a similar concept with JavaScript, that you can't edit a string in JavaScript, right? I think it's correct. You can't edit a string. If at all you edit you can only create a new string that has those changes. Yeah. Now, like here, what they did, they got the word Python, but they got a substring that started from the position 1. So P was automatically neglected, but instead of P, they put J, and this J was added to the string that starts with Python, and they created what in this string. Yeah. And just like they said, len is an inbuilt function that returns the length of the string. Then we come to lists. lists are very similar to strings, because they are also fine. They call them compound data types, yeah, because they store more than one value, and that value can be anything. It can be anything you can think of, yeah, because actually even before going any further, Python is a fully object-oriented programming from the word go. Yeah, everything you see is an object. Yeah. Here, Havasha, you see where the term shallow copy comes from. Yeah, all slice operations return a new list containing the requested elements. This means that the following slice returns a shallow copy of the list. Yeah, and we shall see this with looping. Yeah, the reason why we need a shallow copy. Yeah, yeah. Unlike strings, which are immutable, immutable, that means you can't change it. Once you create it, you can't change it. The only way you can change it is by creating a new what string. Yeah. Lists are mutable. Yeah, because for lists you can change them. You can change a value. Maybe going on to our code here. Take an example of our word Python here. If we say maybe word, and we try to get the value at position 0, and we try to equate it to j, I'm pretty sure this will be an error. Yeah, let me try to save one. Exactly. And actually we have gotten our first error in Python. Yeah, and it is a what? It is a type error, because they are saying str object does not support item assignment, in that you're trying to change this, and we saw that the way we can do this, changing maybe the p to the j, is by slicing. We can say print this j, then we concatenate it to the slice of word that starts at position where y is, which is position 1. Yeah, 1, then to the end. And you know the end, you can't, even if you don't specify it, it will be by default specified. Yeah. So when I try to run here, yeah, when I try to run this, yeah, you see I got the JSON. Yeah. Now, but with lists it is okay. Now if I have a list here, a list of friends, maybe I have Eric here. You can mix you can mix anything in that list, but in most cases it's the use case that will kind of like it is the use case that will limit you, because if at all it's a list of names, why do you put in a number? For the code won't fail to run, but logically speaking, this won't make any sense. Yeah, though it will still run. So if at all maybe I'm like, okay, friends at position 1, I want to change this to maybe to Tom, right? Then I want to print my list of friends. Yeah, so this should, yeah, so this, you see now it has been changed and it is working well. Yeah, and yeah, so basically, but everything we have seen else working with strings will definitely work with lists. Yeah, because they're all sequences. Yeah, even the shallow copy, you will try it out on on the what on the lists. Yeah, just like any other operations. Yeah. And you'll also see some methods here. Now, like append will add the item at the end of the list. Yeah, just like you see here. The len also works in the same way as it was in strings. Yeah. Now there is something small here. Maybe as you round up, because it's already 1 hour. Yeah, there is something here. It's called a Fibonacci series. I think you have heard of a Fibonacci series before. Eric, have they heard of the Fibonacci series? Yeah. Basically, I think with the Fibonacci series, the first two values. Okay. Fibonacci series, it's just the two values make up the third value. Now, like here, 0 plus 1 will give me the what? The third value here, which will also be 1, because 0 plus 1 is 1, right? Are you getting it? Yeah. So you add two values to get the third value. Yeah, you something with Fibonacci series. Now, like if at all we have 0, we have 1. These two values are given. The first two initial values are given. Then you add these two. So I'm going to add 0 plus 1. I'll get 1, right? Then if at all I want to get this one, I'll get 1 plus 1. I'll get 2. Yeah. Then if at all I want to get this one, I'll get 1 plus 2. I'll get 3. Then 2 plus 3, I'll get 4. Then 3 plus 4, I'll get 7. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, that's a Fibonacci series. Yeah. So then they try to implement it in code here. Yeah. But the way they're implementing it it's a little bit tricky, but it's not. Yeah. It brings out a lot of concepts of Python as a language. Yeah. So, like they're saying, the sum of the elements determines the next. So I think we have seen this assignment before. Yeah. It's kind of like you may call it a single line assignment, whereby wait, Open is saying 2 plus 3 is 5, not 4. Yeah. Exactly. Wait, that means this one is 8. And the good thing, by the time we finish, we shall be marking ourselves. We shall validate this based on the other example. So the program starts with assigning these two, the A and the B. Yeah. They are assigned simultaneously. That means by something B is simultaneous. Who can try to give us another word to simultaneous? Now I want to see the English. Rachel, what is the meaning of the word simultaneous? Type there the answer. Only give us another word for simultaneous. Okay. As Roger thinks about the other word for simultaneous, let's try to move on. Yeah, but anyway, what you should know, A is given a value of 0 and B is given a value of 1 at the same time. That means there is no time lag, right? Yeah. Then of course you have seen the while loop before, right? The while loop, it has been around since time immemorial. Here it has a condition: while A is less than 10, we print A, and then we do what? There is another. These two values are edited. These two values are what? Are reassigned. Yeah. And of course, you know, a loop. This initial value is only run once. run once, and then the rest is running in the what, in the loops here. Yeah. So after it has been printed, a is assigned the value of b, but this value of b that is assigned to it, let me increase the value of b that is assigned to a is the old value, which is 1, right? And then actually one thing you should know, whenever you see an equal sign here, whatever is on the right of the equal sign is evaluated first before it is assigned to something on the left. Yeah, so everything on the right here happens first, and then this. So by here, the value of a that is used here, it is 0. The value of b here that is used is 1, and then again this b here, the 1 is put here, and then after these two have been evaluated, because there will be 0 plus 1 and then b, after these two have been evaluated, then they will be assigned to these values simultaneously. So 1 will be assigned to a, and b will be assigned to the sum of a plus b. Yeah, exactly. So let's try to code this and see if it actually works in our program. All right, so let me first you can also try to code along with me, and we make sure it works on your computers. So it says a and b is equals to 0 and 1. Then we have while a is less than 10, then print a, then a b is equals to b a plus b. Yeah, so let's save this and see if it works. And exactly, yeah, of course it has to work that way. Yeah, but though it has worked, it's the explanation that you should really focus on, and the tutorial tries to make sure it highlights on it. Now, like here they have said, let me just try to, because this is why all the explanation happens. The first line contains a multiple assignment. The variables a and b simultaneously get the new values 0 and 1 on the last line. This is used again, so it is this simultaneous assignment is used on this and this. Then they say, demonstrating that expressions on the right hand side are evaluated first before any of the assignments take place. The right hand side expressions are evaluated from the left to the right. Yeah, so these guys on the left, these guys on the right of the equal sign, evaluation starts from the left to the right. Yeah, so this one will get the value of 1 and this one will get the value of 2. Okay, and of course the loop, it does its thing, blah 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 blah. They mentioned about the indentation. In Python we don't use curly braces, we use indenting. Yeah, and indenting, it's advisable to use spacebar for spaces instead of using tabs. Yeah, sometimes those two can differ, and then it is printed. Yeah, so basically, in a nutshell, that is kind of like a refresher on Python. But moving on, we'll cover a lot, ranging from error exceptions, mostly these control flows. We shall also cover, of course, the object-oriented programming, things to do with classes, because they are used heavily in in Django, and we shall also do some physical computing with the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, because with the Raspberry Pi it will kind of like make things a little bit fun to enjoy. Yeah, it will be a small project on or while using the Raspberry Pi. I know Afasha has worked with the Raspberry Pi before. Yeah, Afasha have worked with the Raspberry Pi, so it won't be it won't be something new. Yeah, it won't be something new, but I'm still trying to pull out the yeah. So basically, yeah, with the Raspberry Pi it heavily uses the Raspberry Pi heavily uses Python as one of its languages, and if at all you now, like, if at all you have forgotten how to set up a Raspberry Pi, I have some tutorials on my website on how to set it up and even control some lights. Yeah, you can check it out. They're a bit old, but they still work. The website may take long, but it will come. Yeah, I've worked with the Raspberry Pi before, and we shall be looking at maybe connecting some lights. They are very good libraries. Yeah, these guys, I think they have used so much of Python while working with the Raspberry Pi, and it is fun if at all you are creative and you don't want to just follow along with if at all you have hobby projects. Raspberry Pi is the thing for you, as in you it will be a hands-on while working with most of these things. I'll share a book where we shall be getting some of our Raspberry Pi projects, but if you can't wait for the book, just go to Magpie. These are free magazines for the Raspberry Pi. Just go to issues. There is an issue which shall be all these. Actually, if at all you try to download any of these, there is always a column for Raspberry Pi projects in Python mostly. Yeah, most of this content is in Python. Yeah, but as you look through, you'll actually get more ideas, especially with regards to things to do with home automation. Yeah, even if you have very little knowledge with hardware, yeah, it could prove very easy for you. Yeah, but I'll share the book where we'll be getting most of our code. Yeah, but in a nutshell, that was the introduction to Python. Hopefully next time we shall work on a real project that will kind of like cement some of these concepts. Right now, if at all you are finding this the normal in the Python tutorial a bit challenging, there are very many free courses on FreeCodeCamp. The FreeCodeCamp has a lot of free content on Python. Yeah, if at all you happen to I believe all of you have used FreeCodeCamp before. Yeah, you see there's a lot of Python full course, blah 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 blah. So if at all your reading is not your thing, just download one of these. Even there is one of around 13 hours. I think that is too much. Yeah, but I'm one person who believes Python is easier than JavaScript. Though let's not debate about this, but yeah, if we have any questions, please, this is the time to shoot, and then we kind of like call it a day. Yeah, but how was the lesson? How was it? Did you enjoy the lesson, or it was a bore? If at all you guys are still on. Someone is saying it has been fun. Or maybe you were just used to it. You needed a change. Yeah. How many of you have Raspberry Pis at home? Do any of you have Raspberry Pis at home? Because I know Apache has a Raspberry Pi. Apache, how many do you have? Apache, how many Raspberry Pis do you have? Yeah, Apache has 2 Raspberry Pis, so someone can get in touch with Apache and they get a Raspberry Pi so that things can be a little bit enjoyable. For those of you who don't know what a Raspberry Pi is, it's something like this. It's something like this. Basically, what we will be doing, we shall be working with these 40 pins. These 40 pins here. That's where the magic is. Reggie is asking where you can find the recordings. We are still recording, but we shall edit them and then we upload. We upload so that you can be able to see them. Yeah. Yeah, but one thing especially for me with regards to Python, using it to kind of like automate things, it helped me a lot to do what to learn it better and love it. Now even things to do, if I told you guys you ever work as a system administrator, there is a way you can automate maybe pinging the server. Usually pinging the server, both the Google server. When you ping the Google server, it helps you to determine if at all the internet is there. If at all you have another server on the local area network, when you ping it, of course when it replies, then you know that it's actually online. If it doesn't reply, then maybe you have to go and restart it manually. Yeah. So Python, it has a very big library that can help you to do most of those things. That's why when a new version of Python comes, I'm always the first person to jump on a new version because testing is very easy. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for all that I've attended today, and see you on Wednesday. Let's edit this video and then we upload it so that you can be able to access the content. If you don't have any other questions, I think I'll call it a day.